Hello and welcome to Elseworlds DC fan podcast. My name is Jordan, and with me on this journey of his first watch of Smallville is Chris. How are you today, Chris?
I'm doing fantastic. I love this show and I can't wait to talk about it. I feel like it's been a while since we've done one of these, and I'm actually already on season five. Like I'm halfway through season five. We're going to talk about season three today, but like I actually had to brush up on season three before coming on the show because I was like, that was actually a little bit of go for me. There's had a lot of Smallville instances there, so I don't want to mix it up. So yeah, I'm doing good.
Good, good. So we will be talking season 3 of Smallville, which premiered October 1st of 2003, so 21 years ago. Um, and we are going to be discussing all the way up to the finale of that, which was Covenant. A lot of good episodes in this season, I think,
Mhm.
as well. Here, where we left off with season 2 was him leaving Smallville and being Red K Clark in Metropolis. What was kind of your thoughts on that storyline and how it kind of took until episode 3 to kind of get back to the standard usual Smallville episodes?
Okay, I loved when Jonathan Kent was bestowed the power from Jor-El to come get his son back. I thought that was absolutely awesome. That scene where they're fighting is one of my favorite Smallville moments. I loved the absolute depth that they went with it. They didn't kind of like a lot of season finales. They say, "Oh, it's going to be a big deal," and then it's the most convenient way out at the beginning of the season. There were lasting consequences. I love the storyline with Maxwell Lord. I liked how they tied that in with Lex finding out a little bit, but then forgetting, losing his memory, being in the psych ward. There was so much good stuff, but the Red Kryptonite Clark. I don't know that I like Red Kryptonite Clark, but I can't stop watching it. It's like, what's he gonna do next? He's unpredictable, which in a show that's very predictable is very welcome.
I think it's when Tom Welling has the most fun and the best work to do is when he has the Red K stuff
Oh,
because
I agree.
he gets to act and show a little bit more of his acting chops than just being like the Boy Scout, and he gets to be able to. I think he's just having fun with that. The way he's delivering lines when he's like Red K Clark or whatever is so like so much more fun because he is just having a ball being like a mean person. I think it's great.
Yeah, yeah, I loved it. I was really captivated. It was one of those things where you finish season two and you're just like, I cannot stop watching the show. Like, am I gonna like go back to my life at any point? I'm just sucked into the TV. I thought, and it was really heavy. Like it was really heavy. I know when we talked about season two, I was like, oh God, where are they going? This is almost a completely different show. And they returned back to the Smallville good stuff, but uh, I think we needed to see how far it could go. And I love that Red Kryptonite keeps coming up, though. I love that it keeps becoming a thing. So, Red Kryptonite Clark episodes, honestly, there hasn't been one that wasn't an absolute banger.
And you'll see that they'll introduce more different types of kryptonite
Yeah, I
as
just
we
got to the
go.
Silver Kryptonite. That was
Yes.
interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know that I loved that episode, but it was a whole other season, so we're not going there.
Yeah. All right, how about Perry? You sent me a message about this Perry White played by Michael McKean here.
Yeah.
Give me your thoughts on Perry who came into Smallville when Clark was having solar flare issues and he was a tabloid news writer because he kind of fell in disgrace from his other job.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed in this. I like Perry White as a character. He's kind of a staple Superman character. There's different interpretations of Perry White, but this one was a choice. I thought this was kind of messing with Superman lore in a way you didn't really need to. I didn't like the actor. He came off as a schlub. He was supposed to be a
What?
schlub.
Michael McKean, he's great in
Uh,
this.
I,
He's like my favorite Perry White.
really.
Yeah, I think
It's the most different Perry White. I'll get for that. I understand it.
I
He was kind of like
he'll
the adult version of Chloe, but like bad. Like he had the wall of weird, but he had none
yeah
of the good Chloe characteristics. So it was just like wall of weird with this oddball dude.
he'll he'll be back. I'll say, not to spoil it too much, but he does return.
Yay!
He does return as a more normal Perry White. So, um, I don't know. I see. I don't have problems with changes like that because in my opinion, this was like he wasn't that different than what Perry White usually is. He what happened was he ended up falling in like a disgrace, right? Like
Mhm.
and lost his job and was a drunk now uh because of his loss of a job. So to me he felt like the same Perry White but just
Perry White's got
one
to be on
hard
top
time.
of things. He's got to be on top of things. To me, Perry White doesn't have to be a boss. He can have a character progression, but he needs to be witty and on top of things. And this guy was kind of a buffoon. I would just I didn't enjoy him.
Hmm.
He struck me as an idiot, and Perry White can't strike me as an idiot.
What made you think of him as an idiot? I don't think he does anything stupid.
Drinking and driving's pretty dumb,
Well, yeah, obviously.
but but you know, copping an attitude with everyone he meets is pretty dumb.
I don't know if that's dumb. I think it's just a. I mean, in my opinion, I think that is a trait because of his drunkenness. Like I don't think that's
Well,
like
well, let me
him.
say I'd like to see him a little sobered up.
You will, you will.
Okay, I'd like to see him a little
So
sobered
we'll
up, and then I'll
revisit
have a new.
this.
Okay,
We'll revisit.
it wasn't
Uh,
my
wh-
favorite.
what'd you think of the solar flares disrupting his powers, though?
That was interesting because it was that part was interesting because it was like, all right, we're just kind of learning about how his powers work in the first place. It was a bit of unknown for him. And I like that. I like that a lot.
He like accidentally sends the tractor like flying,
Well, I
flying through
like it
the.
when he can't stop, and he's.
Yes, yeah.
It's very similar to like that thing you've heard of Superman like 1,000 times. At some point, he ran and he just was in like 6 towns over or something like that.
Hmm.
Yeah,
How about Relic? This episode was the one where it showed Jor-El had visited Earth and interacted with
hmm
Lana's somebody related to Lana.
yeah. I loved how they. One of the things I enjoy about this show is they always give their actors a different way to act. They always give them something else to do. I really enjoyed uh, the Grandpa Kent of it all. I thought that was interesting. I thought the story was actually really interesting. It was kind of like a murder mystery, but like you kind of saw like from the point where like you knew what happened. It was cool. I enjoyed that. I like the idea that Jor-El was here already. That makes sense because then he kind of knew what Earth was when he sent Clark to Earth. That kind and like it also gave you this idea that he chose the Kents, which is kind of cool. Which makes me like Jor-El a little bit more than I would have in the show
Yes.
otherwise, because they do not spare Jor-El in the show. He's a dick in the show.
Hmm.
Um, and every chance he gets, he's just like, I know everything and you know nothing. You will obey me. You will conquer your destiny. And this was like, oh, cool. A little human side to Darrell. I'm cool with that.
We also had Lex be put in the Belle Reve, right?
Yeah.
And he tries to convince Clark to get him help to escape in this one episode, Asylum. We also had the return of Jonathan Taylor Thomas's character and Sean Ashmore's character, Eric Summers, and Van McNulty. I think he was the one that was like shooting uh, meteor freaks. Um, so they kind of bring those people back as villains in this one episode, and then we're also introduced to a patient named Adam Knight, played by Ian Somerhalder, and he has a small role here in this third season. Did you know the theories people had with Ian Somerhalder's character, Adam Knight, at all?
Please let me know.
They thought he was going to be the Batman.
No way. I
His
mean, I
last
can
name
kind of
was
see it.
Knight, and he
The
was yeah. So people thought he was going to be Batman, and I don't know
that
if that
didn't.
was the original plan or not. And then WB said no, but yeah, then they kind of made him
I
a
kind
little
of
bit.
feel like WB was just messing with you. It's kind of like one of their little alludes to the comics. Like, doesn't really
Hmm.
matter.
We also
And
got go
Knight's not
ahead.
that uncommon of a name either.
Yeah, I guess, but I mean, there's only one DC character known as like the Knight, the Dark Knight. So a lot of people thought it was that. Turns out not to be that, of course. And then we got Clark getting his super hearing this season as well in the 10th episode, Whisper,
Hmm.
when he temporarily blinds himself due to the heat vision that reflects back from the kryptonite, and he gets his super hearing. So that was another
Yeah.
big milestone.
My favorite two episodes from season three were the second one, Phoenix, with the Jonathan Kent
Mm-hmm.
Clark showdown, and Obsession. I thought Obsession was a fantastic episode. You saw Clark finally meet somebody that he can tell a secret, and
Alicia.
yeah, it goes wrong. She's obsessive and creepy and murderous, and you feel bad for Clark in that episode. But it's cool to see him be happy for just a split second and distracted from Lana because I was so tired of the Lana of it all.
Mm-hmm.
So I very much enjoy any episode where Clark isn't thinking about Lana for more than a second. I like that episode.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it just gives him something else to do other than being the doughy sad boy.
Yeah, no, I really liked Alicia in this show. So
No,
Sarah Carter, two player.
I feel like she was only in like three episodes, and I feel
Yeah,
like she could have had like a whole arc. They could have done a lot with her.
yeah. Um, Nowadays they would, right? I feel like
Yeah.
back then you had your. Yeah. So some of my favorite ones I had in this season were hereafter, which is when Clark learns his schoolmate Jordan can foresee the death of anyone he touches.
Oh, that one
You
was
know,
really good.
and
Yeah.
he doesn't see death in Clark's future. You know, he only sees
Hmm.
like the flowing cape. Um, and
I
then
like the
I
dream
also,
one.
which one was that?
The one where the girl's asleep in a coma and he keeps falling into her dreams.
Oh, and it has like that weird guy
Ye-
Slumber,
yeah, and he's like this weird uncle who
the
keeps getting her.
Traveler.
Yeah, I like that. I like that episode because again, you gave Clark someone to connect to in a weird way. It was cool.
Another one I really liked was the Memoria. This is one that's usually seen as like the one of the best episodes of the show. This is the one where Lex is doing the experimental program with the doctor to regain his memory, and we kind of see this kind of like heartbreaking story about his past and what happened, to his brother and his mother and all that kind of
Oh,
stuff.
this
So,
one broke my heart. Like this
mhm.
episode packed a punch, and then he realizes it was his mom, and he oh, it- and the pain that the guy who plays Lionel is such an incredible actor
Mhm.
because when tells him and he realizes what it did to their relationship, like you can see it. Like he actually there was a moment of him, oh crap. And Lionel doesn't do that a lot. So
Yes.
he is not my favorite character, but one of my favorite actors on the show. He is
Yes.
incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Do you know who else he played in DC stuff?
When you say this, I'm going to go, oh, probably.
He played the Riddler in Batman the Animated Series.
That's why that voice sounds. Yeah. Okay, that's awesome. And I
Yeah,
really like the Riddler in the animated series. It's one of the best Riddlers.
yeah. So
Okay.
Memoria is one that a lot of people really like. And then we have how about yeah, let's kind of wrap it up with Covenant here, where we get
Yeah.
a girl played by Adrian Palecki um, from
Yeah.
Friday Night Lights, and she's playing Kara, but it's not actually Kara. We
Yeah.
find out.
They call her Kara. It drives me
Yeah,
nuts. And I feel like it was always Kara, but like then it became Kara. But
you're
now
right. I think so.
now every time I hear Kara, it's just like no, it's Kara. It's like it's a strong thing and I hate it. But I dude, Kara was very mesmerizing in this show. I was like, uh-huh, yeah, okay, sure. Sure. So wait a second. We have to repopulate Krypton. Like, yeah. Okay. Sure. I got you. I yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's
So,
a puppet for Jor-El, of course.
hmm
Um, it was actually really interesting because the Kents were really on their toes. They were like, "What are we gonna do?" Like, she knows things that she couldn't possibly know. So it was very believable that she was Kara. You kind of knew she wasn't. I actually will admit, I Googled when does the real Kara Zor-El show up
yes,
because I was like, wait a second. But yeah, it was also weird that they're cousins and yet they're like, she's like, we have to repopulate Krypton. Kind of weird.
yeah. Good thing they weren't really cousins. So,
Yeah, well, good thing they didn't get to that either. But
yeah, yeah,
yeah, I like that episode. I like that episode. It was they really know how to end the season of this show.
yeah. They do. Fun fact too: the guy that played Perry White, Michael McKean, is married to Annette O'Toole, who plays
Really,
yes, who plays Martha.
I could see that. I could see that.
Yeah, so he has a little bit of a tie there. He also plays famously Mr. Green in Clue, cult classic '80s film. But yeah, so then Kara pretty much forces John to finally reveal the deal he made with Jor-El, and this is where he is having to he has like a heart problem related to having the powers in Phoenix. Takes a toll on his health. Okay, so I guess we'll wrap it up here. We went probably about 20 minutes talking about season 3. Hey, you know what? Do you have your list of favorite top 10 through season 3 that you can share?
I do. I was actually working on pulling it up uh
Yeah.
beforehand. So
We'll end it like this, and then we will probably record a season 4 one to get Chris caught up because he's super far ahead now.
yeah, like it's a little insane to be honest with you. All right, so my top one remains the pilot. My top one
Okay.
remains the pilot. Then number two is episode 9 of season 1, Rogue. Um, number 3 is Ryan from season 2. Vortex from season two's season opener. Season 2, episode 4 was Red. And then I had Phoenix, uh, the second episode of season 3, Obsession, the episode we just talked about. Then I had Stray from the 16th episode of season 1. Um, and then I had Insurgents as my 10th, I believe. So that was the Die Hard kind of uh, one from season 2. Now it changed a lot for season 4 because season 4 became my favorite season. So that's just a little tease there.
A little tease as we get ready for our season 4 discussion that we will be talking about next time. So thank you all for watching and listening along. You know, we try not to go too in depth with a lot of these because of these are like our little side episodes as we prepare for the main course. That's usually your more bulky hour long episodes. You can rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You can leave us a like or subscribe here, or do both, like and subscribe here on the YouTube. We'll catch you next time when we talk season 4 of Smallville.